Hi everyone, welcome to the next video in this series from World of Flowers. Today we've got this enormous plant. It goes all the way down the shelving. So I thought we would start with the pot and then work on the leaves after. The leaves are going to take some time and they'll probably all be similar, so it'll take a little time. But the pot we'll have a go at first. Now, I haven't really thought too hard about the colours. I did decide on where I was going to go first, so we shall do that and then move from there. So the light cobalt turquoise, let's go in a little bit more. We don't need to see all the leaves at this moment, we just need to see the pot. There we go. And I thought I would do this sort of background on this bit in this light colour. So I'm just going to colour away really with this. And I'll probably do this light colour in a few other areas as well. I'm going to try and layer it up a little bit on the edges like I always do, or like we have been on this page anyway. So it's going to take a while, this video. Hope you've got a cup of tea or your pencils in front of you. It's fun to colour along while watching. I watch videos and colour along. I rarely follow a tutorial. I did this weekend actually, which was fun. It'll be I'll share it with you in my what I coloured in May video, which will come out on the 1st of June, I guess. Actually, it would have already come out. You would have seen it because I'm getting a bit confused with the dates. It would have come out. You would have seen it. So I followed a tutorial, which was great fun, and but it takes so long. I've forgotten how long it takes. I don't know if it takes you that long when you're following me, but I watch. The thing is, it had no commentary on it, just music. So I had to watch, pause, colour, watch again. Whereas I hope perhaps with mine you can sort of colour along as I chatter on a bit. I don't know how it works. I am quite fast though, I think. But I hope you can sort of see what I'm doing, and you know, I try and explain, hoping that you can sort of do it in real time. But hers was also sped up, so I thought, oh, it's an hour-long video, that won't take me long. It was sped up, but it was good fun. I think I'm going to use this light colour for the background behind these circular bits as well. So I'm just going to fill it in here and here, so in all these little gaps. Quite straightforward. But it was part of my May challenge, which was to colour in every one. It was a challenge I set myself to colour in every one of my colouring books that I had on the go. So I have got some that haven't started yet, that are sort of duplicates. Like I've got a spare copy of Worlds of Wonder, which I finished my original copy and I haven't started the other one yet. I think I'm going to do this line, and I think I've got Unstarted Magical Jungle and Enchanted Forest as well, and I'm sure there's something else. But anyway, so I don't want to start those yet because I'm not quite ready, and Johanna's got her new book coming out, which is mega exciting. I'm just grabbing a different colour. I'm going to use this Cobalt Blue-Greenish. I find the name a bit odd, it's very blue, it doesn't look greenish to me, but I'm going to do these sort of humpy bits. Sorry, I don't know what to call them. Semicircles maybe, and I'm going to do those so they're a little bit darker at the bottom and lighter at the top, just because that to me feels the right way to colour them, no other reason. Now I'm abandoning my darker at the edge, lighter in the middle at the minute, but we may bring that back in a bit. Let's just get some colour down, have some fun. So yes, I've got a few that I haven't started yet, but you know, and I was slightly scuppered in my plan. I thought, oh, I've got this many books, and I've got this many days, it'll be fine. Because I had my birthday in May and I was sent lots of new books, which was absolutely amazing. And so then I had all these new books that I wanted to start, so I did. So I had those to add into my challenge as well, but I did do it, as you would have seen had you watched my video, things I coloured in May. But for this month, my challenge is more about trying to finish a couple of books. Now, I don't think I'll finish any this month, but I may, because I am fast at colouring, and it just depends really on what pages I choose to do, because some take longer than others, and how ambitious I am with the pages. But I was thinking might be fun to finish Miniature Secret Garden, because I'd had 40 something pages left, which if you consider I can do at least 60 a month, then it would seem that I could do that. But of course my 60 pages a month include the pages I do for you for tutorials, and I don't want to do a whole month of tutorials from the same book, so I will have to mix it up a bit, and it makes it more fun for me as well. I don't want to always colour from the same book. I think I did for when Johanna brought out 30 Days of Creativity, I released a whole month's worth of videos from the same book, which was interesting, and I finished the book in 29 days, which was, it wasn't, I don't think Johanna's aim was never that you finish the book in 30 days, it was that you do something creative every day for 30 days, but I just happened to finish the book. I didn't, the problem is the reason was that a lot of the pages didn't really call for backgrounds, and some of them had really small amounts of things to do on them, depending on whether it was drawing or colouring and how big the pictures were and that sort of thing. So, and there was a lot of text, so that sort of sped me up, and I finished it quickly, which was, I liked it. It's not a book I wanted to spend too much time over, because it had the drawing side in it, which I'm not a big fan of. So I know Johanna's sort of really keen on encouraging us to draw, but it's just not relaxing for me. So that's why I don't do it. You know, it's simple. So I just like the colouring. So that's what I do. Okay, I quite like those two colours. I'm thinking going even darker for the last colour. What colour is that? Yeah, maybe we'll do this one. Helio Blue Reddish. Again, it's not really red. And you put it down, I can't see any red in this colour. It isn't that much. I thought it'd be a bit darker. It isn't that much darker, but I think that's okay. Now here I'm trying to go a bit darker on the edges and lighter in the middle. Trying to find the middle is a bit tricky with all these greenery. I'm thinking we've done it here, the middle is about there. So I need to darken a bit more on this side. It doesn't need to be massively accurate, but it's nice to sort of get it near enough. There we go. Oh, sorry, got an itchy nose. There. I'm going to do these little spots, dots. Basically everything. I'm just do those in quite a solid block because there isn't space for anything else. But we'll do these lines in the same way with a lighter bit in the middle. So I think these videos, I'm trying to think when this will go out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about the 6th of June when this one goes out, I think. So we've had, yeah, we've just had a bank holiday weekend. We would have had, which would be nice. In the UK, for those of you not, we've got an extra long, normally on the last Monday in May, we have a bank holiday when all the schools close. Well, the schools are closed anyway because it's half-term holidays, but the sort of office is closed. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to wipe my nose. And everyone has a sort of day off. I can't remember what it's called. the late May bank holiday. I don't know if it has a special name, because the one at the beginning of May we have is for May Day. Now with these I'm going to make them darker top and bottom, a bit lighter in the middle. And so they've moved the bank holiday to have 2 bank holidays on the Thursday and the Friday to celebrate our Queen's Jubilee. I think it's 70 years of reign. I'm trying to rack my brain. But so the sort of things going on, we're encouraged to have street parties or lunch parties, and it's not something we tend to do in our area, but that's okay. And there are various concerts and different things going on to celebrate, which is really nice. And it's just a sort of, I think it will lift spirits of the country, which I think is nice. Not everyone is a royalist, but I still think having some time off, which obviously not everybody gets because it depends what job you do. If you work in a hospital as on a ward or something, then you're not going to get your day off, but then you might get extra pay because of it being a bank holiday. They do tend to do that. Now I'm going to go with I want a really dark blue now, just to dark indigo to finish off. So I'm going to try and just make these edges significantly darker all the way down. So even here where we've used the really light colour, I'm just going to put it on. Now with the joy with the polychromos is they don't go down really intensely, so you can do this gently and build up that colour until it looks how you want it without too much worry. And because it's your top layer, you can even erase it if you're not happy. We'll do the same on the other side. I want our pot to match. And then we'll do some shadows in a minute where there are layers in the pot and some sort of structure. So as I said yesterday, we didn't do that with the little pot because I was going to do it on this pot. I didn't want them all to look too much the same. So under here I want quite a dark line, as if this is a sort of brim. I'm not sure that lines up. I think it does. Now I've drawn on it, which wasn't my intention. Okay, let's go. There we go. And should we go under here? Just trying to think, because I could go around the edge of each of these, but that's a lot of little fiddly details. I think I won't. I'll just go under there a bit, like that, and then down here under this one, because we can see that that's going to be sticking out a little just because of the way that pot's designed. That line should carry on there a bit, like that. We'll do one under here too. There we go. Oh, my neighbour's playing the piano. Hold on, just shut the door. Right, there's one reason that I decided to have a recording room was so that I could close the door when he was playing. Because obviously he needs to be able to get in his practice as well. Okay, we have now got ivy. I think that's what it is. And lots of it. Now, colours for ivy, you know, I always think it's quite dark. I quite like doing it in a dark colour. So I think I'm going to use the pine green to start with. And I'm going to use this on all of the stems in quite a heavy layer. So I'm not going to vary it much. I'm not going to do any shading. I'm just going to put a heavy layer through like this, and then with the leaves we'll do them slightly differently. There are lots of different designs of ivy. You know, there is variegated ivy where you can get where the edge is a lighter colour to the centre, or you can sort of see the veins and things like that, but it all just does depend on the variety, and I want to keep it a little bit simple. I think putting on each vein is beautiful but time consuming and difficult, so we're not going to do that. And variegating, it's usually, in as far as I'm aware, I might be wrong, it seems to be lighter on the outside of the leaves, and I quite prefer it to be lighter in the centre. I think otherwise they might get lost. Remember we're doing a background, it might just, I don't know, it might just disappear. I'm trying to make sure that you can still see what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything too technical. I'm just trying to put a heavy layer down by layering up. So there we go. I'm wondering whether I would be better off shutting the door on the sitting room rather than this room to block out that piano, because I can still hear it in here. So, but if I shut that door I won't hear the phone ring. Don't know. I'll have a think about it. Hopefully you can't hear it. So, or you might just be able to hear a sort of random bits and pieces. It seems very loud today. I don't know why. But anyway. It's interesting because there's actually 2 walls between us and yet we can still hear it. Our walls are very thin in our houses. So I think we think there's just one layer of brick and then plasterboard. They seem very thin, but apparently it's even old terraced houses have the same problem with thin walls, but it's okay, we all get on, and it's just something we've got used to. Right, I'm going to push the book up a bit to do these stems on the lower bit. I should just come out a bit. Oh, we are all in shot anyway. A little bit wonky there. But I don't think there's nothing exciting to see. I'm just colouring in a stem. But anyway. But what can I tell you about? What have I been up to? Had a nice weekend. There was a food and drink festival in the town where I live. I didn't attend any of the events. It's not really, eating out is not my thing. I am with food intolerances and things, it's just too scary. Although I don't get desperately ill, and depends what I eat. If I eat chili, I do. I get unwell for a few weeks and it's very sore. But other foods, not so bad, but you know, I prefer to know that I'm having something which suits me. So, and having to say, has it got this in, has it got that in, you know, has it got nuts, has it got chili, has it got lactose, yeah, it's tiresome. I can't have onions, garlic or chili or lactose, so I don't like meat, so I tend to go for vegan options, and vegan options are usually got onion, garlic or chili in anyway, because they sort of, that's what they use to flavour it. So it's often almost impossible to get anything. So I just don't bother. I like cooking anyway, so that's fine. But it was busy in town, which was nice, and I just had a little wander around. Went to my favourite deli, and I'm going to start the leaves now. I'm going to go back up to the top because they're a bit bigger and show you in detail how to do a couple, and then do the rest and natter. I think it's probably the best way. So let's pick this one here, and what I'm going to do is do a layer across the whole leaf like that to start with, simple, and then I'm going to go harder around the edge but bring some of that colour in a bit. So we're sort of doing more layers on the outside, like this. Something was tickling my head, it was the tripod. Oops, I thought, what's that in my hair? It's just a tripod. It's not crawling in my hair. I'm just going to sharpen and carry on with this. Now I always think of ivy as a more bluey green colour, but as I was saying, there are lots of varieties and they vary in their colours and how they look. You could get a photo up of some and copy that. I do that sometimes with things that I'm colouring, but not today. So you see we've got even as I can colour, and then the centre is empty at the minute. Well, not completely empty, but it's got a very light layer. And I want to go over that with a different pencil. And of course you can influence your colour. So if you use something like this, you get quite a bright colour. If you use something like this, you get a more earthy, olivey colour. Or you can go with something like this, which looks more greyish in colour. So I'm sort of debating which way I want to go, thinking about what ivy actually looks like. And I think I'm going to go for a completely different option to all of those and use this sort of green. Now this is a very small, this is permanent green olive, and I'm just thinking it will just give us a warmth that I'm looking for without going too pale, but I am going to try and leave a light bit in the centre, but like that. Okay, so that's how I'm going to do them all. So I will just get crack on. So I did a light layer first. You don't have to start with the light layer first, you can start with your darker edges first if you want to. This could take me some time, it could get really boring for you watching. I never know whether to switch off here or keep talking, but I'll tell you a bit about the Food and Drink Festival. Well, no, I'll tell you a bit about my weekend. So I went into town and, as I say, went to my favourite deli, got some jarred chickpeas, delish, and some fried giant corn, which is a bit naughty but tasty, some olive oil crisps. I prefer olive oil crisps to rapeseed oil. I'm swapping colour again to do this centre area, and so that was nice. And I went to the post office to post a parcel sent to America, so that was nice. And it was quite interesting, the price. Well, the price postage is quite expensive, but actually had I bought the things on US Amazon and done it that way, it would have worked out more expensive. So it was good, and I was able to pop a few extra little goodies in as well as the things that I wanted to send just to fill up the box. So that was good. I found a few light things to fill it up. That was good fun. And but it was the guy, I just hoping it's going to get through customs, because the guy at the post office was asking me about a million questions. You can't send this, you can't send food that you've baked. You can send bought food, but you can't send food that you've baked. Why not? I didn't understand. He didn't know why either. You obviously you can't send sharp items and things like that, which is fair enough. I was sending pencils, they were sharp, but I don't think that's quite what it meant. And there were all sorts of restrictions on nearly every sort of category you could possibly think of sending, and I was just thinking, I hope it gets through customs. But anyways, we'll see. Hopefully he said it'll take 5 to 7 days, and I thought, no, it won't. I know it takes, it definitely takes at least, it takes about 3 weeks for things to get to America. I don't know whether the delay's at their end or at our end. He reckons it would take 5 to 7 days to reach America, and then whatever time it takes to get across the country. But it's not, you're not exactly small, are you, America? You're quite a big country. So I don't know whether all the post arrives from the UK in one bit and then it has to be shipped around, or, you know, flown again to a different bit, or whether it gets sent into different airports from here. Got no idea how it all works. But anyway, hopefully it'll arrive. And there we go, that'll be nice. But it's a lovely sunny day. It was really sunny over the weekend, which was good for the festival. I'm hoping it brought people into the town and people into the shops and things. Trying to redevelop the town and encourage people in to the high street more. You know, a lot of people are shopping online. I think that's true of all countries. And it means that the high streets are struggling a bit. But there are some shops on our high street that don't do online sales, so people have to, if they want to buy from them, they have to go into the high street. And we have quite a few independent shops, which is really nice, so small local businesses, and people like to support them, you know, so that's really good. So we have several independent clothes shops, I think at least 3 I can think of, gifts, jewellery, we have cobblers, we have Hi, I am so sorry I got suddenly cut off. My battery went flat on my camera. I wasn't keeping an eye on it because I thought that it was fully charged. Sometimes it just seems to decide to go flat. So I've come back a bit zoomed out because I'm just basically colouring these leaves in all in the same way. And I know that if I get carried away chattering, I'll forget to zoom back in and to move my book, so you won't see what I'm doing. So I thought I would stay zoomed out and I would just colour away using the same technique that I've been using the whole time, and just chatter away a little bit. So it's not exactly a tutorial, it's more of a colour and chat type thing. I know I was telling you about my town and how we have independent shops. It's really nice. And I think the town council are very much in favour of independent small traders as well, so they sort of encourage it. I mean, it has its disadvantages in that there's not an even distribution of shops. If you want men's clothes, it's quite hard to find any, and I'm just doing all the one colour, and then I'm going to do the other one after. I find it's a bit quicker. Anyway, so yeah, it's a bit tricky. And there was a cheap shop that I used to sometimes buy clothes for the boys when they were having a sort of growth spurt, and they were quickly growing out of things, and that's closed down. It's a big chain, interestingly. But we've got a small shop that sells Superdry, which is a really trendy, expensive, actually local brand. But they tend to be, the clothes are a bit tight for my one son. They're really tightly cropped, the clothes, so, and they're tight for me as well. I don't like that tighter fit, nor does he. He likes something a little bit more loose. My other son would probably be okay, but he's happy with getting he likes plain stuff, and they have patterns. They have like words and things on. He likes really plain clothes, so non-patterned. That's just what I've always given them, really. I've never liked sort of logos and patterns and things like that on clothing. I don't know why. It's just a personal thing, of course, and so that's what I always dressed them in. They sometimes had stripes and things like that as they were growing up, but and actually they went through a phase of wanting Minecraft t-shirts and things like that, which was fine. And there was a lot in the shops when they were at that age, so that was quite handy. I think sometimes it goes through trends, of course, clothing, you know, depends what you're into. But yeah, I'm trying to think, I'm sure they had a few other. We used to go to Gap, like Children's Gap, when they were at one point, and buy them t-shirts with little dinosaurs and things on. They were quite cute. My husband used to like spoiling them with a few Gap tops. They were nice, actually. They washed up really well as well. I wouldn't know if the quality was the same now as it was back then, but that was fun. But nowadays, as I say, we tend to just go wherever has the stuff they like. They like chinos, so we tend to go to Marks and Spencer's. So my one sons are getting really faded. I'm going to have to get him some new ones, I think. That's okay. I'm going to do my other colour now on just this bit. I tend to break it down into little sections and do a little, and so I've done that bit. I can see where I'm at then, and I'm going to use this colour and then see how it looks. But yeah, I try and support the local shops. They do have a few women's clothes shops. Again, not where I buy my trousers. I'm really fussy. When it comes to my jeans, I usually just wear jeans all the time. I like ones that have got a bit of stretch in them, so they're a bit more comfortable. And so the ones that we have in our local shops don't. So yeah. So quite like the idea at one point. I thought I ought to just start buying British. There's a shop in Wales that sells, a manufacturer in Wales that makes jeans. I thought they'd be good. I'll support them. So I had a little look on their website and a little investigate. But their jeans are the sort of shrink to fit type. I think like Levi's and things used to do this, where you would buy a pair of jeans and you would get in the bath wearing them so they would shrink to fit your figure. But then you can never wash them because they would shrink again and they wouldn't fit you. So I was not happy with the not being able to wash idea. I know people say, oh, you can put them in the freezer and it kills all the germs and things like that. But no, not for me, I'm afraid. So I didn't buy those. They were very expensive and they were sort of built to last forever, which is good. But and I sort of go through phases a bit with my jeans as well. Sometimes I like excuse me, sometimes I like pairs that are really tight and sort of skin tight, and sometimes I like boot cut, and it depends what shoes I have, because I don't have millions of pairs of shoes. I usually have a pair of boots for the winter, and it depends what style of boot I've got as to what type of jeans I want to wear. And I have I have a few pairs of trainers which I wear when it's a bit warmer. Too warm for boots, but I like boots. And I have a few pairs of pumps as well for when it's warm, but they always rub my feet. I always get blisters from most pumps. In fact, most shoes I have to wear them in. So if I wear pumps, I have to wear socks, or else my feet just end up bleeding. But it's just the way my feet are. So I'm not a big shoe collector. You know, some people like lots of shoes, but because I always have to wear them in and they hurt my feet, and then I'm very heavy-footed, I don't know if that's the right phrase, but I wear them out quickly. So it's almost like as soon as I've worn them in, I've worn them out, if that makes any sense. So I tend to not really have lots of pairs. I'm not a lover of shoes. I'm a lover of pencils. Spend lots of money on pencils, not so much shoes. But sadly, we used to have an art shop in town. It shut down. The owner was a bit sad because she closed it down. She was trying to sell the business. It wasn't making much money. No one wanted to buy it because when they looked at the books, they realised that it was really a vanity project and it wasn't going to make a lot of money. She had quite a big premises as well, which I think cost a lot of rent. She had 3 floors. She had studios and things that she tried to rent out, things like that. And she had a lot of stuff in there, but it was quite expensive. So people would go to Amazon, which is cheaper, or things like that. And so in the end she just closed down without being able to sell the business because her husband got a job abroad, and they decided to take the opportunity and move. And so that was a shame, but she was sad because she had a closing down sale just to try and get rid of all the stock, because obviously moving abroad she couldn't even sell it online, she just needed to get rid of it, and people flocked in and bought loads. And I think she was thinking, crikey, if I'd had this much support when I was open, I would have done really, really well. But often it's just a bit too late. So that was a bit sad. But we've got a newsagents which sell some, since she shut, they decided they'd sell some art things. You know, sort of, they felt there might be a bit of a gap in the market. They tend to only have Derwent, as far as I've noticed. And I have some Derwent, but not many. And it's mainly paint, which I don't do, as you know. I think these are a bit lighter than the last ones. I'm going to darken them up a bit. And we have a art shop which isn't in the town centre, which sells lots of stuff, but they don't have colouring books very much. They're a bit, I think some art shops get a bit snobby about it. They don't think it's proper art. They don't stock the books. And they're missing a trick really, because they could be making a fortune, I think. I know the colouring phase in the UK is not so trendy as it was, but there are still a lot of people doing it. So they could be sort of jumped on that bandwagon, as it were. We do have a bookshop which has colouring books called The Works, and they have lots. Some of them I'm not very keen on, but some of them are quite good. They often have, I'm just going to sharpen, they often have Johanna Basford books a while after they've come out for a cheaper price, which can be quite good if you're prepared to wait, or if you want a second copy. And they did have Nature Mandalas by Malpomene Chatzipaniogu, I think. Can't say that name. And they had it really early, when it was just released, for a £5, which was really cheap. So that I was tempted to go and have a look. I popped it on my wish list and I was tempted to go and have a look, and I just didn't get round to going, and someone bought it for me, so I was really, really lucky. So that was really nice, really kind. I'm going to be doing some pictures from it soon, actually. I've got to plan out my next lot of videos for sort of June. I know we're into June already, but I'm recording this in May, and sort of I've obviously this page I know what I'm doing with, but I've got to think about other things. I'm just checking my battery. It seems to be going down again, but hopefully it will last for this video. But if it goes again, I might just cut off and show you the finished bit, because I need to get it charged so I can sort of get on. I don't know what's going on with it. Sometimes it just gets a bit temperamental. It's very strange. It's got a little personality, my camera. But yeah, so we can get some colouring things. We also have W.H. Smith's, which is like a newsagent's, and they do some colouring books, and they do some art materials. They do a lot of Sharpies, and they do their own brand of coloured pencils, which I've quite highly rated, I have to say. I haven't tried them myself, but some people do really rate them. I don't think they're as good as the proper branded pencils, if you know what I mean. So if you can afford the branded ones, I think because I've got so many, I just haven't really worried about trying theirs out as well. You know, I just feel very fortunate with what I've got. And we also have an independent bookshop, but I've tried ordering Johanna Basford books from there before, you know, before they were released, pre-ordering, and they didn't get them. They just didn't receive them. I think it was around the time, it was one of the books where even Amazon was really late in delivering, and there seemed to be supply issues, but the independent shop said they just, because they're an independent, they only ordered one copy, no one else ordered one through them. They just weren't prioritised and they just didn't get sent it. So it was really sad. You know, we can't support little businesses if they can't get the stock. So quite lucky. So if I do want, and we've also got Wilco's, or Wilkinson's as used to be called, which is a budget shop that does it does Crayolas, which a lot of people highly rate. I haven't tried them. I'm meaning to, but I haven't got round to it yet. And I'm going to switch for this one. This is, I don't know if I even told you what colour this was. This is the permanent green olive. I think I may have done. Anyway, but it's good for, it's really aimed at kids, their art department, but sometimes you can just find good things, you know. So it's always worth having a little look. I always do when I'm in there. So I just have a little look, see what they've got. I've also heard that the range is very good. Now we don't have one in our town. They're usually an out of town shop anyway, I think. But my husband discovered that if you do paint and you use the Winsor & Newton half pans, they have them there much cheaper than you can buy them sort of from art shops and things. So that was worth knowing. But my husband, actually, a tip for you if you do paint, he's found out apparently, now he's got to try this, but he's seen it on a video, that if you get a tube of watercolour paint and you squirt it into your half pan, say you finished your little pan, and you leave it to dry, it sets just like the half pan does, you know, it's a solid paint, and you can use it just like you would with a half pan, and you get loads more. The tubes are much cheaper than buying a replacement pan. So if your little plastic pan, whatever it is, I don't know if that's the proper name for it, is in good condition, you can just keep refilling it with the squirty paint. That's definitely the correct name, squirty paint. And you can save a lot of money. He calculated that he could save, like, if he did it for, I don't know. I'm not sure how many paints he did his calculations for, but it was like 7 times cheaper, I think he said. Although his maths could be a bit rubbish. His maths isn't his strong point, my husband. My boys definitely get their maths brain from my dad, not from my husband. I think it's my maths is okay. It's not brilliant. It's got better as I've got older. When I was at school, it was like, oh, it's maths, you know. But now I'm older, when I need to use maths, I can do it. You know, I can see the point of it, and I know why it's important to know it in specific circumstances, like when I'm doing my business books and things like that. You know, I need to know what I'm doing. So I've got better at it. Okay, let's move up. Oh, hang on. I've got my pencil tin on the other page of the book. There we go, we're getting there. So I don't know if you stuck with me rambling on, but well done if you have. But we're just going to do more of the same. So, but it actually, I was finding out a little bit about YouTube, and they apparently YouTube algorithms, and you know, they recommend your video to people. If your video is longer, apparently YouTube likes it better, and if people view it for longer, YouTube likes it better and recommends it to more people, because the whole point of YouTube's algorithm is they want people to stay on YouTube. So if your video encourages people to either keep watching by watching your video through, or to if you leave my video and go to another video, that's favourable as well, even if it's not one of mine, because YouTube likes that. And then they show your video to more and more people. So so me chattering on could be very good for my my YouTube algorithm, as it were. But I'm not always. I do try to make sure people can find my videos and try and think about getting more views and subscribers and things. But it's because I want as many people as possible to understand how good colouring can be, how much fun it is, you know, and if I can show you some sort of simple techniques that make you feel happy with the work that you're doing, that would encourage you to keep going with it, I hope. And there are so many benefits. I know not everybody would have the patience. I know I've got a friend and she just would not sit, you know, she's always wants to be up and about doing things. We went for coffee the other week and she couldn't sit for long. We actually sat for a few hours. I didn't realise time had passed so much. But she, at the end, she said, I'm going to have, do you mind if we get up and walk? I just can't sit for this long. I'm just not used to it. And I said, oh, that's fine. But she does a job where she's standing. And because she works in a cafe. So I don't think she does the till. She does the sort of serving customers, taking their orders, making the coffees and teas and things like that, I think. So she does all that. And so she's standing all day, and then she goes home and she's doing her garden, she's walking the dog, she's tidying up and, you know, cleaning, washing up, and, you know, she doesn't have a dishwasher. She's doing all those jobs in the house. She's just not used to it. So I don't think she would sit down and colour. But for her, relaxation would be a dog walk or gardening or something. So, you know, I'm not saying that everybody is going to benefit from this. Not everybody has the personality to sit. But I think, you know, if you're... what I do find, though, is I used to think that watching TV was going to help, was good for my relaxation, but I realise now that it isn't. It depends what I'm watching. I like a quiz show. I like watching Pointless, it's a quiz show we get. I like being able to feel clever. I'll just admit it, I like showing off. So that's quite fun. And that's a positive programme, you know, but I think some of the programmes can be quite depressing. Using that word loosely, obviously, I realise it's a condition, not just a frame of mind. But you know, they're not very happy. They're not very positive. Everyone's miserable. You know, the soap operas. There's always something bad going on. I don't like that. I used to get very into that sort of thing, and I've decided no. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to think, oh, that person's worse off than me, therefore I have to be grateful. I just want to watch happy things. So that's what I do. I watch my quiz. I watch the Strictly Come Dancing, which is like Dancing with the Stars, which I think most countries get. So much fun. I'm, you know, just watching people enjoying life and learning new things. It's good. Hey, I think I finished. Hang on. Let me zoom out a bit. Right, let me try and I can try and make this straight so I can take a photo. I think it is. I always find it hard to tell. But so as you can see, all the leaves are pretty much the same. Now I might put some shadows under the leaves where they're against the pot. We did it on here, so I think I should. So we'll just do that before I go. Let's go in close. You need to be able to see what I'm doing. Right. What should we use for shadows? We could use the indigo because we used that for the pot, didn't we? So the dark indigo. I don't think there's just a plain indigo. So underneath here, bit of a shadow. This one. I don't know how well it'll even show up. I'm gonna have to sort of layer it on a bit to get it showing up, I think. This one will, on this pale bit, so I need to be a little bit more gentle with it. And I'm just doing it on the lower bits, as if the light's coming from above. I don't know if it makes a huge difference. I'm going to go up a bit there. But it just is consistent with the fact that we've done some shadowing under here. Okay, so let's go back out and just look at that. It may not show up once we go out quite far away. I just want to get it all in shot. Oh, I think we probably are going to get all in shot now. There we go. So that is that. So yes, well done if you stayed through all that talking and jabbering on. Thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow won't be quite so long. We've got this one. It's going to be a bit more straightforward, so it won't take 10 years to colour like this one did. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a really lovely day and happy colouring.